Ladies and gentlemen, the layout map Ascent, the new map that's going to be released on the 2nd with the game of Valorant, has been revealed, so we can show you that and break out some information about how this map is specifically different from a lot of the other maps that we've already seen. And we have a full breakdown of Reyna, her abilities, and her role in any given game going forward. So if you want to get caught up on all this information, watch it to the end, and do me a huge solid and smash that sub button. But without further ado, let's just jump right into it, shall we? With Valorant full releasing on the 2nd of June, hype is mounting for Valorant in a big way. The map Ascent has been partially revealed, and while we can't show you the full in-map footage, we can make some general statements about the map based on the top-down view that we've gotten. Here we're going to show you some different pictures of the map, one with the names of the map officially, and one with what they're probably going to be called in-game, because it seems that everything is not really called what they're actually called. I'm sure that the community's names for things will change in some ways, and in some ways they'll never change. But moving on from that, if you recognize any of this, the footage in the Reyna gameplay reveal trailer is actually on this map. So we've actually seen a little bit of this map already. We just don't know the full picture. We don't know what it's like to play it in game. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert in map design, but I can point out some general things about the map that can be useful to take note of in advance. So the first thing is, there's no true long sightlines. This means unlike almost every other map in the game, this one has the smallest sightlines possible. This is an extremely close range map in comparison. Now, the second thing to take note of is that the choke points are actually hyper small on this map in comparison to some of the other maps that we played, Split, Haven, Bind. The choke points on this map are extremely tight. Now, why does it matter that there's no long sightlines and that the chokes are really tight? Well, the big takeaway is that abilities are going to be extremely powerful on this map. The thing that you need to understand is when fights become close and there's small choke points, zoning abilities or spam abilities become exponentially stronger. Abilities in general become stronger because abilities work far less when the map is really opened wide, and gunfight plays a bigger role into the engagements. And then on top of that, because of the fact that the choke points are small and there's no long sightlines, pushing or split pushing as a team is going to be a huge liability. How many times have you pushed through one section and your team just tried to rush without baiting out any utility? You got slowed, you got paint shelled, and then you just got killed. It's very difficult to push jointly as a team, especially on attack in this map. I think that it's going to be really important to spread out, bait out a lot of utility here because like we already said, it's going to be very powerful on this map in proportion because the choke points are so small on this map compared to all the other maps in Valorant, and in general, the choke points in Valorant are so small compared to all the choke points in CS. Now, as far as what characters really benefit off of a map like this, characters that zone off or spam will be even more powerful. Specifically, the characters already said with their abilities like Raze's paint shells or Sage's slow/barrier. These characters are automatically going to be more powerful, but there's only a true limit to how much we can extract from this top-down layout. We're going to know more information and break it down more for you when we know the full picture, when the map gets full revealed, probably tomorrow on June 2nd. Now, moving on, we have a full breakdown of Reyna, and we tried to break her down before, but frankly, we got a lot wrong because we didn't know the full picture. We didn't actually know what her abilities were, but now we do, and we can tell you exactly what her playstyle is and what you should be doing if you're playing Reyna from day one. So first off, let's break down her abilities and give you some insight into each one. Her first ability is her blind ability, and this is an ability that doesn't need any sort of charging. It's an ability that you can buy, and what it does is it casts an orb that one-sided blinds enemies in the short vicinity. It has a short sight line, but it does blind enemies when it doesn't blind Reyna herself. Now, my first impression of blinding was that it's just overpowered, but the thing is, when it actually is traveling, it doesn't blind anybody. It only blinds people at the apex when the ability is actually going off, and in the meantime, enemies can actually shoot at it and destroy it. So there is a fair bit of counterplay. Now, the cool thing about it is even if enemies are trying to look to destroy it, you're still messing up their crosshair placement, which means that you could still get value out of it even if they destroy it, but it's not like a one-sided flash in the way that I thought about before. So it's still very useful for getting kills, which is what Reyna wants to do. I'm going to talk about that in a bit, but it's not completely overpowered, and it does have a fair amount of counterplay. Now, before we move on to her bread and butter Q and E abilities, let's talk about her passive. When she gets a kill on an enemy, and for clarification, she has to be the one to get the final blow on an enemy, an orb will drop that has a tiny meter that will slowly degenerate until the orb disappears. These orbs drop and allow Reyna to quickly use these orbs in order to activate either her Q or her E ability, and she can grab them from pretty far away, but like I said, she has to get the kill on the enemy in order to use these. So the first ability in question is Soul Catcher. And what this is her Q ability, and this allows Reyna to heal. It allows her to regenerate her health by absorbing those soul orbs that are dropped from corpses that she kills. And it can allow her to self-heal, only self-heal. She can't heal anyone else. She can self-heal herself up to 100 HP, or she can go even overhealed all the way up to a max of 150 HP. That includes armor, so she can't go up to 200 HP or anything like that. Now, this is the first glimpse into the playstyle of Reyna. This ability allows her, after a successful trade, to heal up to at least 100 health, and in some cases all the way up to 150 total HP. So after a successful 1v1, you're not at a severe disadvantage when trying to go for another kill. This is the first big takeaway for Reyna. She is a dueler, and if she gets this kill, now she has full health again. So she can essentially take a whole bunch of 1v1s in succession and keep healing herself up so that she's always at full fighting force. She's always taking a straight up 1v1, not at an overwhelming disadvantage. She's not going to be like a fragger that gets a kill but ends up at 30 HP, and then it's really hard for them to win subsequent 1v1s later on down the line. Now, her E ability is actually even more interesting, and it's invulnerability. So when she uses her E ability on an orb, she still needs a soul orb that's dropped. She becomes invulnerable for a short amount of time, and it's pretty short. It showed in the trailer if you want to know the full amount of time, but it's a really short window of time, and this is an incredibly powerful ability. Now, before we jump into exactly why, something that you need to take note of is she's only invulnerable during the cast time. So essentially, all this is going to be doing is allowing her to transition. But remember what we talked about before. When she gets a kill, she drops these soul orbs and she wants to immediately use one of these abilities. So have you ever turned the corner, right? And you killed someone, but there's multiple people there and you get swung on and they trade for you. So essentially you only get one kill for one kill. Well, what this ability specifically allows you to do is get a kill, go invulnerable, and then relocate back behind natural cover or whatever. And in that way, you literally secured a kill without the ability for the enemy to trade with you. That is an insane aspect of Reyna and not something to overlook, because you have two forms of versatility in 1v1s. You have the Soul Catcher Q ability that allows you to heal up if you successfully took a straight up 1v1, but you took some damage, you can heal up to max health now. Or you have an invulnerability, so if you aggressively peek multiple enemies but manage to get a kill, you can prevent the enemy from trading out with you because of your invulnerability. Both of these together give you versatility and options, but the thing that you need to understand is it all relies on you getting the kill. Reyna is a fragger. She needs to be getting these kills or else she's completely useless. Essentially, she's probably the most aggressive character in the entire list. She's an entry fragger, she's an initiator, she wants to go incredibly aggressively, and she needs to either be playing with a pop flasher or acting as the engager pop flasher herself. So Reyna is definitely going to be a pub stomper. She's definitely going to be like the solo carry champion. I'm not quite sure how good she's going to be at the higher levels, but you know, as mechanical skill improves on a Reyna player, it exponentially snowballs because you can essentially keep trading for enemies in ways that is kind of broken. I mean, imagine killing somebody, swinging somebody, going invulnerable, going back behind cover, they push you, you kill them, you heal up, you just can keep taking fight after fight after fight in a way that if you are the best player in the lobby, this is the character that you can play to prove and carry extremely hard. But if you're having a bad game, you're essentially useless. You need to be getting kills or you're kind of worthless to your team. Now, before we end this, I do have to talk about her ultimate ability, and what her ultimate ability does is it gives her sleight of hand, a temporary increase of fire, which is that stim beacon you saw on the bottom right in the trailer of her. It decreases her reload time, and it speeds up her skill usage. So I know I was kind of redundant there, but the sleight of hand and the decreases reload time is the same thing. Sleight of hand is a much quicker reload time, and the increased rate of fire means that she's just going to have more overall DPS if it's not a semi-auto weapon. So that's actually really interesting. It makes her more lethal. It's going to be even easier for her to win those duels and take multiple duels in a row because of the fast reload time. And the fact that it speeds up her skill usage just means that everything is going to flow even better for her. Everything's going to be even faster for her. All in all, her ultimate basically just plays into her whole kit, but it's all the same as before. You essentially just have to be fragging, and her kit is designed to basically have a chain reaction of kill after kill after kill, or taking these 1v1s in isolation where you could take a true 1v1 and then you could take another true 1v1. You're not taking a half-baked 1v1 later down the line, and you're not getting weaker as a character later into the game. You actually are going to be that same power level. Now, all in all, what is my take on Reyna as a character? How strong do I think she is overall? And what are her big weaknesses? Well, I already talked about it in some capacity, but the big weaknesses to Reyna in my mind is that you have to get the kill and you yourself have to get that kill. So if you swing with another person and you do some damage and you just get an assist, you're not getting an orb for that. So that is something that is really interesting because it almost incentivizes you to take true 1v1s and to be hyper aggressive. and to play in a style that is kind of all or nothing. And I know that this is going to be a character that you're going to see some insanely highlighted moments with, but in an average coordinated game, I don't think that what she brings to the table is even close to a character like Sage, to a character like Brimstone, to a character like Cypher. But she might be able to fill the place of your 5th member on a team where she is the really aggressive playmaker. But more than anything, I'm extremely excited to try this character out for myself. I'm most likely going to feed on this character, but I guarantee you that this character is going to be one of the most fun characters in the game. I mean, just look at her. She looks like so much fun to play, but also I really want to know what your opinion on the hero is. I know that initially a lot of people were really hyping her up, but after seeing the full picture of her abilities, it makes me realize how important it is to get a kill on her, and I really don't think that she's as powerful as she seemed initially. But do you have a different take on her? Do you think she's actually secretly overpowered in the right hands in the right scenarios? I definitely want to know your valuable take and insight down below, so please let me know. Anyways, if you like this breakdown and you want to know more, we're going to be coming out with more Reyna videos, in-depth guides about how you should play her after some hours grinded into the hero. So definitely look out for that and smash that sub button so you don't miss out on any character guides, news, or anything else we have to offer here at GameLeap. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. I'm Coach Mills, and until next time.